everyone, and welcome back to WhatTeamComp with me, a common guru. Man, D&D with WhatTeamComp. Why is that so hard for me to say? I don't know, I'm just giddy. We're here with the crew once again for more shenanigans. We're here with Paris playing the Azamar Barbarian, Serenity. We're here with Kendall playing the half-elf artificer wizard, Artemis. We're here with Moss playing the human fighter, Elizabeth. And we're here with Zark playing the human paladin, Aurelius. Still in Molten Hold and still taking care of some business. Mostly healing from losing an arm and a leg for Aurelius' sake.
It's spinny chair.
Spinny chair. Also alcohol and jousting with the air. And almost going over the balcony. Twice.
These things happen. It's fine.
You have spent a little bit of time in the estate. Each of you having a little bit more of the tension that has been between you all twisted just a bit more. And the day continues on. What would you all like to do?
I'm not allowed to move.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Most of you aren't allowed to move in some respect.
Someone that can move should start.
I was gonna say, like, Serenity gets up, just makes sure everything's fine where she is, and then goes to check on fucking Artemis.
You don't know yet.
You don't know.
I don't. She's going to check on her because she left in a fluster last night.
Okay.
She thought, okay, she needs a few minutes to herself. She comes in, sees she's bedridden, and has at least 3 seconds of a panic attack before she tries to calm herself down.
Oh, are we starting
Oi.
right after the last session, or are we starting the next day?
At the moment,
I was
right
thinking it
after,
was
just
next.
in case.
Oh, it's right after for this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then.
Just because
Artemis is knocked out.
because
to
I
sleep.
know Paris likes to do stuff before day's end, and I wanted to make sure that she had the chance to do so.
My
Yeah,
guy, she's not awake.
Yeah, she's asleep.
Then what case it is the
Remember
next day?
remember who she went off with.
Oh,
You
that's
gave
fair.
me sleeping paste.
You're welcome.
Ace?
Yeah, the paste that she was given was to help her get a dreamless sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's called sleeping pit. Okay, so
it's chewy melatonin.
Yeah, effectively.
God, I wish.
My
I have
name is
melatonin gummies that don't work.
I'm in
Vitamin
search of...
melatonin.
So, are we saying it's next day?
Yes.
Okay, so it's
Okay.
next day.
Oh, I realized Artemis isn't in her fucking room. She's the camera. I thought.
She's in her room.
Okay,
You don't know where her room is, but she's in her room.
that's a great point. Wait, no, I do. You were the first one to pick a room.
No, I was the first one to pick a room.
Oh, that's right. She was the last. Fuck.
Yep.
Aurelius didn't really pick a room.
Look,
Yeah,
Mara, I had to get fucking wheelchair accessible, alright?
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Serenity and Aurelius are sharing a room.
Yes.
Understatement.
And it's, I was going to say, and it's next morning for you, so have fun with that, Paris.
I mean, I don't think she's aching. She's just up. There's a
You're
few
gonna have
brief
to ask.
moments. There's a few brief moments where she has the knee-jerk reaction of man in bed stab before just relaxing and realizing it's not a hostile.
It could be. If you
What are you gonna do to me with no half limb, bitch?
It could be more hostile.
Hostile doesn't necessarily mean effective.
If you want, I can make this even more awkward.
Please
Oh, please do.
Okay, so Elizabeth would have gotten up after failing to sleep the night before. And is seeking out Serenity and possibly Aurelius. So while they're still in bed together, there is a knock on your door.
Oh! My guy!
You're welcome.
I gotta think how she's going about this. Hang on. Give me a second.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
combat
Aurelius
is
is
full of
dead
people.
asleep, dude.
I was gonna say, I'm like, he's unconscious.
I need
Yeah.
to know. Is he snoring?
Yes.
Aurelius?
Yes.
He's more so mumbling to himself, and it's common, and it sounds like he's talking to someone called Oscar.
Okay.
Serenity back of her head. I just slept with this man, and here he is having fucking dreams with a man. All right.
Knock, 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 knock.
Looks around. Is like, I can't get dressed. Shit! So she just like takes one of the blankets and just wraps it around herself before she answers.
Oh, thank you.
Has clothes in that room.
No, but it sounds like urgent, so she's like, I don't have time. Shit.
Oh, thank you. So, as soon as the door opens, Elizabeth opens her mouth to say something, takes in the fact that Serenity is only wearing a blanket, looks past her to the bed where Aurelius is asleep, turns around, and walks away.
If you close the door and give me 5 minutes, I'll exit the room.
I'm just gonna stay over here.
This is far more covering than my usual time. She closes the door.
So Elizabeth
like,
just kind of stays in the hall.
I walk around in a dress with like thin ass straps or a bra and latex shorts. This is the most coverage I've had in weeks.
But yeah, Elizabeth will kind of stay in the hall, but away from the door, just in case.
Ironically, she comes out in the second outfit. The dress is still covered in blood.
Fair. Do you mind if you and I have a talk? And you'll notice Elizabeth has bags under her eyes. She doesn't have her weapons on her. She looks drained.
You did not rest last night.
The bed was too comfy. It didn't feel right.
Huh? It is the most like disbelief of, did I just hear this? What?
The bed was too comfy. It didn't feel right. I couldn't relax.
Ah, soldier reaction.
Isn't that the point of a comfortable bed, is to help you relax? Never mind.
I got like 3 hours, but it was on the floor.
Her eyebrows raised, but she doesn't look like she's going to comment on that.
It was something. I needed to. I keep playing back yesterday in my head.
Well, if it helps, I have no hard feelings.
I still need to talk to you about it. I don't want you to think that I'm going to leave this group. And I know I have a flighty tendency.
That is
I'll be the first to admit it.
Obvious.
The reason why I usually walk away, it's not to leave you guys. It's because I don't want to take my anger out on you guys. And yesterday, I know you were trying to help, but you got in my way and my anger came out.
So we need to work on your anger issues. That's what our training's supposed to be doing in the first place.
It was bad timing for a lot of things. But I just want you to know that I'm not gonna leave. okay?
I appreciate it.
And if I survive whatever this meeting thing is that I have to go to, I promise to tell you everything.
That she looks genuinely surprised at.
But I have to go to the meeting by myself and survive it first.
If it gets dicey, don't try and fight.
It'll be me versus all of them. I know better. I know better than to go against higher ups.
Huh. At least you do have some common sense. She's smiling.
But like I said, if I survive that, I will tell you everything.
She'll hold her hand out. Promise me.
Elizabeth takes her hand, but it's the grip, it's barely there. It's obvious she's exhausted.
Now, you need rest. Even if it's on the floor. Do you want a blanket?
My cloak worked fine last night. Right now, I kind of just want to go for a walk around this villa.
Alright.
And kind of try to clear my head. But I wanted to get the talk out before I talked myself out of talking to you.
I appreciate it.
I was gonna try to talk to Aurelius too, but it looks like you two got real friendly. And I don't want. I don't need details.
I wasn't gonna give you details. I was just gonna say it was unexpected.
If you know how I am when it comes to this stuff, just know I'm happy for you. Okay?
I appreciate it. Before you leave, is there a chance you might know what Artemis's room is?
I don't. I picked the room first because I was in a mood. You know how I am. And only time I saw Artemis yesterday was during dinner.
That's some of the people who work around. Go take your walk. We'll talk more later because we do still need to. She like holds her hands up and kind of clenches and unclenches them into fists. We need to get some practice in.
Fair. And I'll be back probably later because I think it's time that Aurelius and I put bygones to bygone. You know, work that whatever the fuck the saying is. We need to work it out.
That'll work.
But
I love them so much.
But so
pat her back.
I'm just gonna go for a walk. And
Go
thank
on,
you
you're
for not
thanking
just
yourself.
thank you for not be let me say thank you for not being mad at me, okay?
It is incredibly hard for me to stay angry for more than 24 hours.
She'll start walking and then turn back around.
Okay.
The reason why you were the one that I took my anger out on, it wasn't just because you got in my way. It's because I knew you wouldn't give up on me after I did it.
There would be no progress if I gave up after the first attempt.
I'm used to people just giving up on me after I showed that side of me.
Well, you're used to people who are either assholes or not patient.
That's an understatement.
You have to work really hard to get me to give up on you.
She'll wipe her cheeks and then turn back around to go for a walk again.
I am going to see if I can find a worker to tell me where Artemis fucking sleeps. Fuck.
Most of the people here look to be a bit more on the like. How do I put this? They're not underdressed by any stance, but for the kind of state here, you would almost expect them to be like, you know, fancy dressed and whatnot, but it's more casual, like slightly more common looking attire. One of the things that I will also say that you do note, remember the braziers that I've mentioned?
Mm-hmm.
The cold ones?
Yes, the cold braziers. You see that there is a person who is like manning it, like with all the other times. But when some people get close, they seem to like slowly look up, like do a little flick, and they'll like suddenly make a big gust of air that kind of blows up a person's shirt, and they'll laugh and just kind of go, "Hey, cut that out!" You know, they'll like kind of wiggle their fingers, be like, "I'm sorry." Which none of the others that you've seen have done. It might be that this is more personalized or such, but just something you note.
I try and get the attention of one of the. This sounds so weird. One of the older looking people, because she's hoping like maybe they've been here longer.
Fair. I'm going to see if they know. Maybe they've been here longer.
Oh!
Does Artemis look old to you?
I mean,
It's a
no, but
question.
you're an elf.
Yeah.
You go to one of the older people and they kind of look at you like, can I help you?
Oh, I'm one of the group that Cameron invited here. Would you happen to know where Artemis's room might be?
Who?
Or where? All right, where Cameron is then.
Oh, he could be anywhere.
Oh,
He's like a mouse in the wind.
have you seen him then?
Yes,
going to guess no.
I've seen him before. When I first came here. Oh man, that was a while back. He has
Puts her
such an
hands together
interesting.
in her
What'd you say?
mouth. She puts her hands together like in front of her mouth, so like the fingertips are under her nose, just like.
The, He
I
was
meant,
a
have you
striking
seen him
image.
in the last hour?
Oh
Is
no,
it man,
absolutely.
woman, or non-binary?
Man.
So, sir, all right, she typically adds the honorifics.
In the last hour? No. Kala's gonna
the
kill
last-
him. He's missed
Kala?
breakfast.
Ah,
In fact, I think a
thank you
few
for your help.
people have missed breakfast. So many
You're already
bodies.
Huh?
Leans in
Excuse
close, leans in close conspiratorially. I'm just kidding, but sometimes Kala will make you believe that if you don't eat 3 meals a day, she will tan your hide. she's a kidder, that one, but she really does have a big heart for everyone. Now you run along, sweetie. I've got to continue my jog. As he slowly walks away. It's such a quick jog.
You love this grandpa motherfucker.
One of the other
Why'd
things you
keep
note is
Oh?
that he had when he's like walking away, you kind of like process both of his arms from the elbow down were prosthetics.
Oh,
As was one of his legs all the way up to the hip. As well as the fact that when he starts walking away, you note that he has some markings that you can kind of see going into like the collar of his shirt. It looks to be some kind of tattoo.
does it look similar to Artemis or no?
It's under the shirt. You can't tell too much.
Okay. She's going to keep asking around for Cameron at this point because there's no way.
Okay. As far as most people are aware, they didn't see where he went. Eventually, though, it does take a little bit. You do eventually come across Ulver, your friendly guard.
I said, why did I not go to him first?
I don't know why. You're like asking him. It's the older people here. They'll know, and I'm just like, all right.
When I said
I'm game for
older,
this.
I didn't mean senior citizen, but it works.
I mean,
What do you
older.
think old means?
I said said older. That could mean anywhere from 30 to 70, my man. Or plus, because, you know, D&D
30
embraces.
is old?
That's middle age! That's
I
older!
am so offended right now.
You can be offended. You're older!
I get to be offended now. I get to be
Yes,
offended
you do.
by this now.
Uh-huh. Yep, you do.
Everyone but Zark is older, because y'all are older than me! That's what that means!
What?
Nope, you're calling us old. That we're offended.
We're offended.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yep,
guys,
Every single one of us has back
guys,
problems
hey,
except for
I don't
Zark.
know what we're
Alright,
offended about, but I'm
Anyway,
being offended too.
friends, Romans,
Okay,
countrymen, lend me your ears. God damn it.
Yes.
Ulver greets you, and when you say that you're looking for Cameron, he's like, kind of like gives you this look of just like, is it really time to be interrupting this? And he slowly like leans out, looks at the sun, leans back in, nods, and goes, I think it's time. And he'll just kind of casually walk away, expecting you to follow.
Interrupting what? She follows after.
Bonding, obviously. You left to bond with someone else. She gets to bond with him. Unless you're wanting to bond with him. I don't know the logistics of what all your relationship is, and I'm not prying. I'm just sitting back with this candied corn I have. And he pulls out some, what appears to be some kind of like kerneled sweet. He pops it in his mouth. Keeps walking.
Can I try?
Offers it to you.
Just eat a bit of it.
It's like candy
Is it like-
corn.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, is it like popcorn, kettle corn, or candy corn? Alright, thank you.
It's like candy corn. It's very interesting. Like it's got that interesting texture to it. That's like, huh? But it's not terrible in its taste. Just different. Different from a lot of places that you've been, especially because you're used to like more cold, chilled sort of sweet treats, and this is like just casually popping it in your mouth. Like, oh, okay.
It's fine as is. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Sorcery!
I love it, Karis.
She'll continue following after Oliver. I
And
keep trying to call him Oliver, and my brain has to stop.
That's kind of the where it derived from. Instead of going to Oliver, it went to Ulver. There's no I. Because there's no I in team.
There isn't wind, though.
So he knocks on the door of Artemis.
Hello?
Is she awake yet?
Are you awake yet?
Oh. Well, okay, yeah, she could be awake. She's probably just...
No.
Before they get there, she's just kind of staring at Cameron. Because he's asleep there, isn't he?
Yep.
You just start petting his hair, just kind of scratching lightly at his scalp.
Mhm.
Waiting for him to wake up from the gentle touch.
Mm-hmm.
And glancing up when the door's knocked on.
When the door's knocked on, he like sits up. Just like 0 to 100. Just, he's awake.
Mike Myers.
Kind of blinks slowly, cracks his neck, just audible pop, 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 pop.
Oh.
Exhales slowly, just like, oh, it's morning. Good morning. I will see who that is. And stands up and walks over to the door. He's a mild bit disheveled, but he was mostly just because he was like seated next to you, laying on your bed. He opens the door, looks up to Ulver, looks down to Serenity.
I'm sorry, this fucker's like 6'5".
Hmm?
You need like 6 something?
It's like 6'1".
Oh.
Ulver's the tall one.
Well, Oliver's a Goliath!
Yeah.
That's just a given!
Yeah.
I'm at camera. I'm sitting here. I'm
He's not
slightly
that
disappointed.
tall.
Anyway.
He's just built.
You're not helping.
I'm helping.
No!
He's helping. He's totally helping.
Don't make me come for you next, you gopher.
Please do. She's sick.
Artemis will forever be in the sides. I mean, you. Anyway. Hi, I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
Oh, we were having the most wild and raucous sex. No, you aren't interrupting anything. I'm being... It's too early for
Let's
jokes.
We had
It's...
sex. When did we do that?
We didn't.
Emerald,
It
let's
was a
be-
terrible
bed.
joke.
Emerald, let's
Oh.
be real honest. If you were, I would be sorely disappointed from the lack of doors. You would be a 1 on the scale of 10 if that's what you were doing. You're not even messed up.
I am
His hair is
except...
messy.
Yes,
That's
it's
about
very
it.
messy hair. Oh, you pet it. Oh, yeah, that would explain it. It's a little bit more messy than usual. Honestly, I was half expecting it to be braided when I woke up at this point.
That was a thought, but I thought that I might accidentally pull it out. So, petting.
A fair thought.
There's like a few seconds where Serenity looks like she thought about something but decided against it. You know how you have those invasive thoughts?
Oh, yeah, I'm aware.
Her immediate reaction was, oh no, it shouldn't be that hard to pull out his hair, and she just grabbed a fistful. So it looks like there's like a light bulb, and then the light bulb gets basically grabbed and thrown.
No!
Before she-
Yeet!
Before she tries to look past Cameron. I don't
He
know how
lets
much
her.
of the door.
He lets her. You're not trying to
Artemis
harm
is
her.
currently struggling with taking off her arm.
Good morning.
It's
Let's see.
hot, and it
This-
hurts.
I'm aware. Oliver, can you get her a wet washcloth? He nods and he walks away, and Cameron kind of moves over and he sits on the edge of the bed. He's like, "Your arm all right?"
Can you help me take it off? It's heavy.
Heavy. Here.
And it
You
hurts.
alright?
Gently moves over and he struggles because he clearly has never done this before. But it's not that, actually no.
So
It's,
you're the-
he struggles because you actually note that he acts like something like should just happen, and then he kind of pauses and he looks at your arm. He has to like hook his fingers a bit deeper in and kind of wiggle it around, which you're used to. It's like, you know, there's like a little thing you gotta wrench your tools in a little bit to get it to pop off when you're doing it on your own. He's like kind of like wiggles it and kind of looks at it before it gives a little pop. And you feel your whole arm just kind of disconnect from your body, and it's like a huge weight off your shoulder. Like, oh, thank gods! And he just kind of pulls the arm, looks at it, and hefts it for a second, just like, huh. Feel better?
Yes. It's kind of rubbing the scar tissue from where it came off. It's like
Ooh.
in the dips and the grooves, and just kind of because it's still a bit sore, and the magic when it disconnects leaves. It's a unpleasant feeling.
I can imagine. When was the last time you saw a doctor for that?
Serenity looks very worried in the doorway.
You don't have to stand there. She's here with you.
don't know.
I'm not contagious, I promise.
Contagious? Contagious with what? She's immediately going into the room.
Yeah. She's running a fever. She has an overabundance of heat. Her body's fighting something. I'd say she's winning, but that doesn't mean that it's not uncomfortable. And
I am so winning. I am such a winner. Where are my notebooks? I was working on something.
we'll
She dives
get
off the bed.
there she goes. We'll bring you your
Where's-
notebooks in a bit.
They're right there.
Yeah, well, you don't have to jump out of the bed to get them.
Best, easiest way. She's just already grabbing hers and kind of pulling herself up by her core.
Serenity will kind of like put her hand on the opposite shoulder. Lamb, please.
I don't sit still. I was working on something. It was important. I'm pretty sure it was important.
You
I have to
need
remember what it
rest.
was first.
You need a rest. and you need to lay back.
Gross.
I know,
Go
it's
ahead.
absolutely horrible.
We'll give you a moment.
Where's Elizabeth?
Uh,
I was making her something.
Currently, Elizabeth is walking.
Okay,
So
well,
what-
when she's done, tell her to come walk over here.
sounds like a plan.
I will tell her to come visit you when I next see her.
All right.
And she's gonna reach up and kind of hold Cameron's face and lean in really close. She's staring really intently at what looks like the area of his eyes. And she's like, "Do you know one of your brows is higher than the other?"
Yes, it's one of the things that I've always been trying to work on to try and make sure when I quirk my brows that they're evenly matched. Unfortunately, one of them is just too strong.
Ah, you shouldn't do that. I like your face. Just pat his cheek, and then she looks over at Serenity. What were we doing again?
We were getting you to rest so that I could make you something to eat.
Soup.
Yes, I'll
want
get
soup?
Kala to get you some soup.
I think I can eat now.
Good.
If I can't, well, we'll see what happens.
Let's hope that it's
Serene has
nothing
like
bad.
a face of, oh god, no.
Cameron nods, he stands, and he walks towards the door, and he's just like, we'll give you a few moments to just kind of relax. Oliver will be here in a little bit with the cold cloth. If you need a brazier, let us know. Serenity, do you want to give her some space? Just let her relax for a little bit?
You look so fucking hesitant before she nods. Lay back. No notebooks right now. Food, okay?
Food's not here yet, so notebooks now.
You can
Oh,
have one notebook.
Why am I negotiating with you all about my notebooks? I'm older than both of you.
Yes, but you're also feverish and you kept forgetting what was going on. If you're forgetting what's going on, you have to write the same words down 3 times. You're going to get frustrated with yourself. I'm taking your arm, by the way. Just
Why?
one of the other people here has shown me some of it, and they would want to take a look at it, if that's okay.
She's gonna stare at him, then at her arm, then back up at him. Just very hesitantly, like, don't break it. I worked very hard on that arm.
I'm aware. I'm not going to break it. I just want to see if they can check something. Something felt
Okay.
loose.
Did it? What was it? Show me.
He
no.
sighs and he's just like, I'll see if it is. If it's just my imagination, then it was one of these wound bits in here. The one used to disconnect your arm. It might be what's causing the after pain.
The after pain's normal. It's been happening the entire time I've had it. It's just part of the connecting magic.
I will ask about that. I didn't realize that was common.
Depends.
I never said it was common. It was just something that helps it connect to my nerve ending, so I can move the appendages. She pokes the fingers that she has on there.
Serene's getting up to get a notebook. She's trying to find the smallest one in the pile.
No, the other one. The one that has the big spirals on the end. I promise, I'm not doing anything strenuous with it. I'm just drawing lines.
Alright.
If you look inside of it, that's exactly what it is.
Just lines.
She'll pick it up and give it to her.
Can I have a pen, please? One of those pens over there, please.
She'll pay for a pen. She'll kind of like move her hair from the side of her face so she can kiss her temple. Make sure to
I'll
relax.
lean into
alright?
it. Huh?
Just make sure
What?
to relax. If you get overwhelmed, close the notebook.
I won't get overwhelmed. This has never overwhelmed me.
She closes her eyes for she just smiles at her and sits up to look at Cameron. Shall we?
He nods and kind of motions to her. Like I said, Oliver will be back in a little bit with the wet cloth to help cool you off.
We'll
Cool.
be back.
Oliver's cool. He's really big.
He is. That's why I like him. He makes me feel tiny, like he could pick me up and throw me over a wall. He's done that before. I should tell you that story
I
sometime
enjoy
later.
that feeling.
Is this Oliver?
Yes.
Over, yeah.
The,
Yeah,
yeah,
Goliath.
I love he.
He good bean.
And
Him
she's gonna look
shot
at
put.
Serenity like, why haven't you thrown me?
I was mid-stretch as she said that, so I just imagine just Serenity kind of trying to stretch out the, like, kinks in her back and just stopping mid-stretch and just looking at her.
Perfect.
Do you want me to throw you?
Later.
Yes. I am very
No.
small and aerodynamic.
Aerodynamic.
She's not wrong, but come on, let's
I
give her some
will
space.
throw you when you're healthy, which means you need to get healthy first.
I want to be a projectile weapon.
You are already a weapon. Let's make you a projectile when you are okay.
Deal.
And she will head out with Cameron.
Cameron will just like lets you
Is-
out and closes the door behind you. Slowly exhales, just like
What happened?
I don't know. Is she always this manic?
No. Well,
I love it, but
Ah?
like she went from 0 to 100 very quickly.
it's the fever. I'm sure it's bringing out her
Tendencies.
more hidden tendencies.
Fair.
To be fair, just be happy she didn't bite you.
That honestly would have been fine. I mean, if she drew blood, then that means that she's at least got enough strength left in her to do something, which I honestly would have been more impressed by than anything. Now, I need to see what she has done with this arm, because I hear rocks clacking in this. She kind of like holds it and gently shakes it. You can hear a little clack, 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 which you've always thought is normal. He's just looking at like, it's like, what are you?
I'm pretty sure that's normal, but if you still want to get it checked out, I can't exactly stop you.
I'm getting it checked out, yeah. Make me an intelligence check, Serenity.
I'm pretty sure that's her. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, wait, no, that
Yes.
actually is her better stat. Cuckoo. Holy shit!
Yep. As Cameron is walking away, you kind of watch him leave, and you're like, yeah, no, that's always been that way. And you kind of take a few steps, and kind of slowly pause and think about it again, and you remember the old man from this morning. It's this like, very simple little thought, but as you're thinking about it, his hands turned with a little bit of. It didn't have the same articulation as her hands. Her hands have a lot more freedom of movement in some ways, but they were soft, quiet. And he's an old man, so if they were as heavy as she was showing it to be, it should have looked like it was a lot more for him. But he was kind of moving his hands around, gesticulating, as it were, with freedom.
Oh. Lighter material. Different build.
Possibly a little bit of both. The build shouldn't be that big of a factor in this. Definitely the articulation is possibly due to his own age, limiting his articulation of movement. But for his age, he also would have less strength than Artemis, which is saying something.
Grandpa trying to walk, man. He ain't trying to move.
No, but he also has again, only one of his legs was artificial. The other parts of him that were artificial were his arms, which has nothing to do with zooming around.
No.
Which means that Cameron might not be on to something, but at the very least, the idea of him getting it checked out is realistically something that would be good to have other eyes than just one person's Artemis's, looking at it to see,
Right.
If there is like something that is off about it. And that could potentially also mean that when he was asking about the pins and needles feeling that she gets when she uncoupled and coupled her arm. It's possible that isn't something that happens to everyone, which means that if he finds something better, she might be able to
make
actually.
it better for her.
yeah, it might be better for her. I'm giving you a lot, but you got a natural 20.
Before he fully walks off, she will call out to him.
Huh?
If you can, I have 2 questions for you.
You can walk with me. I don't want to yell at you.
Fair
Come
enough.
on.
She follows after.
All right, ask away.
Do you want the simple one or the hard one first?
Hard one first, obviously. I don't want to have the hard one for later. That'll keep me thinking.
What are your feelings for Artemis?
I am endeared by her. I am enamored with the idea of her, and I am afraid of those feelings being incorrect.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the fact that for once someone I ask these questions can answer them bluntly and surely. Oh, thank you. She fucking pats his shoulder.
He shrugs. I've had time to think about it. I know that she's not going to remain the same person. There's very much likelihood that she's evolved in ways that I can't say that I'll enjoy, but I also can't say that any change that she makes to herself is going to be a bad one. I have to be willing to accept that, but who she was and what she's inspired is part of what I have become, and keeping it from being an obsession has been a difficulty, admittedly. I haven't gone looking for her, which would have been perhaps the nail in the coffin in that respect, but I let what she taught me fuel me. What little she had in understanding of where she came from, to try and help make it better for others.
He smiles. She is certainly an inspiration.
She was manic,
But so are you.
wild, raving, and I enjoyed every second of it.
She smiles at him. That is the most understanding smile she could give right now. I think I know fully what you mean. She's both a force to be reckoned with, and yet at the same time, this... I don't know how to describe it. It's like watching... It's like... I can never describe this well. It's so awful trying to describe it. Because I don't have the words for it, and it's frustrating.
You too, huh?
Yeah.
If that's a harder question, what's the simple question?
Can we spar later? I've been waiting for it for almost an entire day. And I want to fight you, because you're big, and for once I have a competitor.
Oh, I need to take care of this arm first.
Later. There's a reason I use the word later.
I just need to get the boys looking at this, and then we can go down. It's not like we have to spend forever waiting.
We have to get Artemis her food first.
No, Kala will bring it to her. Oliver's going to bring the wet cloth, and as soon as he sees that she's working on things, he's going to go to Kala and bring her some food. People take care of each other here. Surprisingly enough.
You have to remember, I've been traveling with Aurelius, Elizabeth, and Artemis for the last... How long has it been, Don?
A while. A couple months.
It's a while. And in case you haven't noticed, everyone but me is a little bit closed off.
I mean, yes. That's how people who have suffered go through things. I mean, you all stand like people who have gone through great pain.
I'm understanding of it. That means that I'm not used to people actively going out their way to do one thing or another.
As opposed to
just separating.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, we've also had a few years to develop this connection and understanding of what we can and should do.
I'm not saying I don't understand how you've done it. I'm saying it's a breath of fresh air.
Ah, my apologies. That makes more sense.
Even where I was before I met Artemis was... You know when you can tell things are hostile, but they are not hostile? Like, you can feel people planning, but they continue to smile and work with you.
Only for a short time. And he looks at you with this like this semi-flat, slight smile of something.
Those were my years before Artemis.
They wouldn't last long here.
Depends on how many of them come here.
I wouldn't care.
She looks at him.
He has a very, it's not distant, it's very tightened expression. That small smile is still there, and it's no longer reaches his eyes.
It's nice to see you be so defensive of your people.
I protect them. They trust me,
Well,
and I fulfill that trust.
kind of nudges him with her shoulder. All right, ease up. You're tightening.
I have to. Some people question me even still in the courts. I don't like having to remind them more than once. Now, knock, knock, knock. Opens the door. Boys, I have a project for you.
So he has to school her expression so bad right now. She'll kind of like peek in.
They're like working on some other stuff. Some of them are like measuring out things. Looks to be for a leg. Like they're like propping it up. They're looking at like, this will be the worst thing we've ever made. You mean the best thing, right? We'll get there when we get there. And then they look at the arm and they're just like, some of them just like slowly, like almost like, you know, the gremlin energy, like crawling across the table. One of them physically does that.
I genuinely was imagining all three of them hopping onto the table by a guy. So
one of them was already on the table, and so the other two just like crawl around and they're like, "Oh, we have been brought to snack, a new treat," and they're like slowly looking it over, and they're just like whispering like, "Oh, this is intricate. This is great. What the fuck is this?"
One of them slides under the table and takes it.
Hey, get rid of that back here! Pouncing on each other. It's manic energy, but it's clearly three people in their element trying to figure something out. It's like you hear them, as you hear Kenrol say, "Gentle, don't break it. It's a lifelong work, and I need to make sure it's brought back in one piece. Thank you."
Or he won't come back at all.
You see them being like overly gentle now.
Oh yeah, no, exceptionally gentle. Like they're like almost like holding it at arm's length, like, I want to see but don't want to break. Oh no. But they're still looking it over and seeming to take their time with it. Speaking of Aurelius, what are you doing? Because we'll be heading to Serenity and Canrol doing a quick spar in a moment.
Why do you sound so happy with that?
Don't worry about
Thump.
it. Did you fall out of the bed?
Yeah, but he's purposefully doing it and landing on his right arm and leg and sort of doing a crab walk with it.
There's the wheelchair set up in your room still.
Yeah, where do you think he's trying to go?
I figured, but I didn't want to assume. Make an athletics check just to see how long it takes. Just this is just for fun. This isn't for like to slow you down or anything like that. It's just for fun.
You're stuck on the floor for an hour.
Yeah.
He for having lost an arm and a leg, you do still have your knee to kind of work with, so you can kind of like knee waddle your way if needed to kind of get to where you need. Your arm is up to your shoulder, so that's quite a bit more, but you are able to get to where you can sit in the chair and kind of spin it, and then you're like, okay, I have to.
He's like He's figuring out that he needs to kind of like one arm each wheel to get to the door.
It takes a little bit longer with that, but you are able to open it up and kind of just get your way out. And you're able to kind of keep going on for a little bit, and you're just aimlessly wandering or trying to get somewhere specific?
Just kind of in his own head.
Okay.
Kind of like trying to like wake up. Because like normally how he wakes up is by training,
Right.
but he can't.
Right.
So it's like, what do I do with myself?
Right.
So he's just kind of aimlessly wandering until he finds like an archive or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I can't stimulate my body, I'll stimulate my mind.
Gotcha. After you travel for like maybe like 3 minutes, you kind of get, the impression of like someone being near you, but you don't see them immediately.
Yes, the shadow step.
Yes. You kind of get that feeling, and then someone like slowly seems to not materialize, but like just step into your field of vision, and you're like, wonder how long she was there. As you see this this orc guard just kind of glance at you and kind of look forward, look back at you, and is just like, do you need a hand, sir?
Aurelius wiggles his shoulder.
I'm fucking dude, he's gonna fucking do that. God damn it.
She nods and just kind of moves behind you. Any destination in particular?
Not necessarily, though I'm trying to wake my brain up.
We have an
somehow.
archive. Would you like me to take you there?
That will work nicely.
Wonderful. May I ask your name? I see many people come and go, but I lose track of the faces at times. Yours seems new, though.
It is. I am Aurelius.
A pleasure. My name is Banial. And she gently wheels you towards the archives. The archives are not like an extensive, vast library, but there are a number of different books and stories. A number of them look to already be kind of being pulled out and read through by some kids, at the lower areas. But Panyal is like, just kind of moves past them, just wheeling you around a few of them, like grabs the sides of it and kind of just full on lifts you up at one point to just walk over a kid who's just like scribbling on a blank book, like coloring in it. Just kind of walks over and they kind of like after a couple seconds like look up like, hi, and then it just sets you back down and keeps wheeling you as she gives a little wave back behind him at him. Before she
kind of just lightly smiles at that.
Kind of turns you at after a little bit. It's like, do you have a preference in what you wish to use to flex your mind with?
Are there any... This is gonna sound strange. Are there any journals or meditations of people in here just to give me an insight into how they thought their mind? Sometimes you can find great insight through the mind of those who have passed or have since gone on to better things.
I think I know
Right.
of maybe one or two. Let me see if I can get you. She moves over and she kind of spends maybe a minute or two, and she comes back with 3 or 4 books and kind of just sets them on the table next to you. Take your pick. Enjoy the refueling of your mind and soul.
So he's just gonna start
reading.
looking. Yeah, like the idea behind it is that through reading the journal or like meditations or whatever of people who've come before, he's learning a combination of history, culture, and perhaps the philosophy or mentality of the people of the past
Makes sense.
to better improve his own mind and his own understanding.
Makes sense. You will definitely find, as you're reading through it, that this is going to be a very different sort of experience, as the people seem to be people who are from Dunziel. So it's a very different perspective. Yes.
That's kind of the idea.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to get a almost philosophical understanding of the Dunzieli, with the understanding that Artemis is like, I guess he kinda at this point has filled in the gaps with all the people here, with all the like it's clear that she's from Dunziel.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to better understand her.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's like cultural exchange, for lack of better words.
Yeah. Totally understandable. There are a few parts where you do kind of have to skim a little bit, because it goes from being written in Common to being written in Elvish.
Unfortunately, he does not.
He does not. Nope. After, I'd say, about a couple pages of reading and whatnot, you hear the squeaking of wheels, and you kind of like half glance up out of your book and you see a human woman wheel her way in, set herself up with a book or two of her own, and just kind of start reading. Both of her legs are gone. And she is just going to be reading nearby. Anything else you wanted to do?
Nothing especially. He's gonna keep a mental note of his environment.
Mm-hmm.
He's more or less just going to, and when I say meditate, I mean in the sense of like being aware of his surroundings as he's
Reading.
doing, like of the present.
I get you.
As much as he is looking into the past.
Does the human woman have any markings?
None that he'd be able to see from where he's at.
Okay.
He's just keeping to himself, kind of respecting this woman not crying.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to, yet again, the Aurelius mentality of don't hide yourself, but don't draw attention to yourself.
Mm-hmm. All right. Elizabeth, you are on a walk. Is there anything special you wanted to be doing, or are you just on a walk?
Part of the walk is to see if she can find anything about the villa that reminds her of home.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that is possible, but she is very much wanting to find a place that is like home.
Are we talking home? Are we talking home is where the heart is, or are we talking about home?
Old farm home.
There is a like a farmland garden area where they have clearly been, tilling the fields and stuff like that. It looks like a lot of this was like had to be unearthed under stone, and that like this is a place that you had to work the land to actually get it to produce anything. But it is bearing fruit.
It's gotten her attention.
And you can see that
after the conversation. Yeah, I was gonna say after the conversation she had from last night, she's missing home.
Fair. And you can see that there's already two people working on it, two halflings who are already beginning to like line up some areas that are like they're discussing parts of it. Like, no, if we cut the path right through here, but if we cut a path right through here, we're going to take out some of the crops. If we lose the potatoes again, I'm going to throw you into the well. You can't throw me in the well. You can barely throw the potatoes. I will still throw you.
Oh, potatoes, huh?
Kind of pause and glance at you like, it's one of the few things that'll actually live in some of this dirt, but it's a hardy fruit. No, fruit. It's a vegetable. It's a fruit.
It's a root.
Root fruit. I knew what I meant. Nah, sure you did. How you doing?
See, if you... okay. This reminds me of home. Hope you don't mind.
Nah, we more the merrier. We've got all sorts come through here. Some people are farmers, some people are not. Most people, wastelanders, don't know a thing about the green thumb. You know a thing about the green thumb?
Small farming family from Corvin, so...
Ooh, long way from home.
Yeah, but, root vegetables, this is my cup of tea, so...
Hey,
you need help?
In. Yeah, sure, we could use an extra set of hands.
Then, put me to work.
Alright, we need you to... See that bag over there? That's, fertilizer. It's special blend. We've been trying to get it to be the right consistency to actually, again, grow the potatoes. I'm telling you, if we just don't fuck with them, we'll be fine. We need the fertilizer put on the north side. Alright, that's fine.
Fertilizer kind of helps with the potatoes. Really, if you move them from over there to over there, you're more likely to actually get them to work.
They're both their eyes just follow your hands and they just processing. Let's see if either of them process what you just said. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, both of them. They watch and they look. It's just like, but the dot here. We could change what we're planting here. Carrots, definitely carrots. No.
Yeah, that area is better for carrots. Maybe over there some parsnips, but definitely the potatoes over there.
You're hired.
God.
This is what I was raised to do. What can I say?
Move it over there. We got to restructure everything. Everything is wrong.
Hey, at least you got it at the beginning of season before, it took too much root.
True. We have to move everything. Go. They began quickly scurrying about, moving to basically to turn half of their farmland in order to get it to fit right with what you just described.
Elizabeth will help. She did start this mess. She's gonna help.
And so you do. It's cathartic. Puts you into a kind of a blank headspace where you're just focused on the work. It's nice.
In a way, she's missed it.
They will introduce themselves newly to you, but as Kin and Jim.
Oh, these two.
These
okay.
Two, yeah, they're the gardeners. Kin and Jim. And they're all too happy to ask your opinions on things, and you being a little bit taller means that they occasionally ask you, can you help move that over there? And it's like, wow, she moves so fast. She's perfect for the job. It's like she knows.
Glad to be of assistance. Really, this is what I did until I was 16, 17.
You're still good at it.
You never forget.
Yeah, true. Life lessons. Good lessons. Yeah, they're okay. You shut your whole mouth.
You two are very interesting.
We've lived an interesting life. We were able to make life where there was none. It was literally a barren wasteland. And then we got driven out. We were alone, cold, laying on the street in our small clothes. You're making it sound like it was worse than it was. Well, we were.
At that point, Elizabeth is like, her hand is like covering her eyes. She's doing a face palm,
right.
But at the same time, she's laughing.
Yep. Well, look, we found a place to hole up, and we might have broken and entered into Cameral's estate, and he might have had pity on us and not smitten us where we stood. But hey,
Is
we
that
got jobs
something he
now.
does? Is that what he does for people who break in?
Well, let's put it this way. After we broke in, like a month later, there was this small group that came in. They were trying to get some of the people. It's a big group and whatnot. You know, the people here, that is, 40 people. I heard it was 46. I heard it was 43.
Eh.
There was at least 2 people here that they was after. You know, bounties and
Okay.
whatnot. You know, trying to bring
yeah.
people back. And we were we was up because we was planting and whatnot. We see these people starting to try and make their way out. You ever seen something in the dark that makes you just go, I'm going back to sleep?
More times than I'd like to count.
Yeah. They was thinking they was sneaky, and they were trying to walk out with these people that was squirming and trying to make noise and whatnot, and they were muffling them. They were doing their best, and then suddenly there was just fire illuminating the night, and they was like, methinks we have made the mistake, and they tried to run. They were not fast enough.
Amateurs. Anyways, and she says that as casually as possible before going back to work.
Yeah. They don't seem to quite catch it. They're more focused on potatoes and parsnips. we got to plant this.
They do last longer than most of the other stuff you grow here, so you know.
We gotta make sure we got food. The people out there, the idiots. We're smart. They're gonna come crawling to us one day. One day. Hey, but that's not today.
You should. No, just why? No, the parsnips go on the other side.
Oh, sorry. Oh, this way. Ken, over here. What do you mean over here? I thought you said over here. No, over here is the parsnips. Over there is the carrots. Oh, yep, nope, you're right.
And this is where she'll just kind of clear her mind for a little bit.
Sounds good. So, Serenity, you wanted to spar.
1 second.
What do you mean 1 second?
I meant 1 second.
Get back here. How dare?
The gall.
She was
Having things outside
expecting
of D&D.
our parsnip conversation would last longer, I think.
I have been grinding salt into a very fine powder. It is surprisingly relaxing.
Hey.
I'm back.
Yeah,
Welcome
there
back.
we go.
Mom came in to try and steal my Pringles.
Oh, very important.
Oh, that's understandable.
Hmm.
Defense
Yeah.
against the dark Pringles.
So, you wanted to spar.
Yes.
Alright.
So, she will ask him, is there a place where I don't have a bunch of witnesses?
Witnesses?
In other words, where it's just us two.
He walks into the training area and just kind of goes, I need the room. And there's a few people who are like doing some training stuff. They kind of look up. They kind of look up at him and see who it is. And she's like, yeah, we'll be back. And he's like, I'll let you know when it's open. ISAP. They kind of salute and kind of move and just close the doors behind themselves. Just like, yep, whatever you say, boss.
One of them's just coughing up a little bit because they got hit real hard and they're winded.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry.
Click. He turns and just kind of shrugs off his overcoat. Just kind of tosses it to the side. Kicks off his boots. Tosses those to the side.
This is a place that is filled with those who are not to judge. Yes?
I'll try not to.
I need you to make me a promise. 2, actually. Can you do that?
No, you haven't told me what I'm promising yet.
I want you to go all out, first and foremost. And I want you to promise me to not try and kill me.
No, I wasn't going to try and kill you in the first place, but I mean, if you want me to go out, all out. How all out are you saying?
Act like I'm the enemy. I know it's a lot to ask, since I am friendly.
Oh no, you asked. You do not understand the consequences of your ask, but you've asked.
I feel like I do.
Maybe.
I just fucking think that. Ready?
Takes up a stance.
I'm gonna rage.
Roll initiative. You might beat him on initiative. Oh, nope.
No! Oh,
So-
wait. No, yeah, I don't have advantage until next level. Ah!
Yep. He's going to wait for you to rage. But when he rages, you see a light glow across parts of his skin. Circular runes that move across under his shirt in places you can't see, but there's a physical glow across his chest and back, moving across the underside of his neck, across both of his arms, across his shoulders, just luminant under the shirt as he just stares you down, just like with this waiting of, come on.
I'm assuming we're using fists. If
Yeah.
not, yeah, okay.
I mean, you can use weapons if you want. He's using fists because he's going to try and hit you with everything he's got without killing you.
I want a fake sword so I don't actually nick his skin.
Sure.
Well, it might cut him, but you know, he'll live.
We'll say you're using a quarterstaff.
I gotta add that to my sheet. No, fine.
So,
Wooden weaponry.
A hard and long rod.
Big stick.
Thick stick.
Long
Little
stick.
piece.
But only quarter of a stick.
It's a grower, not a shower.
I hate you both.
Love you too, sweetie.
Get in that character
We're
sheet. There we go.
We're rooting for you, honey.
You got this. Go on.
don't
I'm not
worry,
putting money on
sweetheart.
you, but
We
we're
believe
rooting
in
for
you.
you.
Don't worry, sweetheart. We believe in you.
Do not root for me. This guy is like a fucking level 15, if not more. I fucking know it.
Are you the underdog?
You're damn
Yes, he's not
right.
the dog.
Then I'm rooting for you.
Fucking missed.
That will miss, yes.
Yes.
That will also
Yeah.
miss. Yes.
I've seen his sheet. This is gonna be funny.
Right.
It's not hurt.
You slap at it. He just kind of slaps it with the palm of his heel. And what's your AC?
I think 17? 18.
Okay. All right, so that will definitely hit. That is a 26. He is reckless,
Ow.
by the way.
Oh, okay.
Second one is a 29. All right. So you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to 4. And 23 points of fire damage for the first hit. You take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to 4. And
Hang on.
Yeah,
I gotta
holding.
do the math here. Hold on. Brain farty. Okay, there we go. Alright.
Let me know when you're ready.
Go on.
So, the second hit is 9 reduced to 4 bludgeoning damage and 25 points of fire damage.
Oof.
Your turn.
Oh,
You asked
God.
for it.
You said
Oh, she did.
treat me like an enemy. Both hits
Oh.
collide with your chest, and you're just like, oh, this is how he treats enemies. Oh. Ah.
I'm sure Victus is having a fucking ball right now.
He's both. He's like,
Wait, he can't feel fire.
he feels you feeling the fire. It's like, yes. He's also like, no.
Oh dear God! Hang on, fucking open the calculator. There we go. Damn. He's gonna knock me out this next round. Oh, fuck it.
He is already reckless, so you have advantage. So yep, that'll hit.
I'm gonna hit you once, you fucker.
Yeah. Make a dex save.
Why is that divinity? What divinity?
I don't know. What divinity is it?
I don't know. Oh, that's the Azor shit.
Oh. You didn't divinity here.
No, I didn't divinity here. You said dex save?
Yes.
I don't think I get advantage on these, do I? I can't
Yes,
remember.
danger sense.
Okay.
That is a failure.
Oh,
You take 3 points of fire damage.
oof. I am just not built for a quarterstaff.
You're just like, this isn't weighted right, and then you see him shift, and you're like, oh no!
He's gonna hurt.
And he shifts, and it's like this, it's like the anime motion of like Shine behind him. Oh God, oh.
What did you roll?
Gnats? Did you roll a gnat?
Yeah, remember when I said Shine?
Oh no!
He reckless attack rolled
Bye.
double natural 20s.
Oh no!
Don't even tell me the damage. I don't want to hear it.
Are you sure you don't?
No, I'm not sure. I just know that my ass is on it. It's on my ass.
Yep.
I want to hear it.
Sure.
I kind of want to hear it too.
All right, do it. I know it's over 50 indefinitely. Probably about 62, 61. Wait, no, it's doubled, so it'd be like fucking 90.
That's not how that works.
Oh wait, no, my brain. 60 to 70. Leave me alone. The damage
43
done.
points of fire damage.
Ow.
I would presume this would knock you unconscious normally.
Well, unconscious, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's again, it's that moment of the anime Shine and the flare of fire actually burns his shirt off, just completely just off, as it just wraps around both of his arms as he throws it forward in like this, shotgun palms towards you motion, and you don't get knocked unconscious, but you feel.
Why did I think you were gonna say that he throws it back?
He starts throwing his ass back. No, he throws his arms towards you, and it's just this sudden heat wave that just slams into your chest, and you're just like he doesn't physically hit you, but it's also like just this heat just rolls off you, and for a moment you just hear Evictus go, oh, it's the plane of fire come to life. As you take like 3 steps back, fall on your ass, and just kind of stare there, just like suddenly dehydrated as fuck, as you see him just slowly just exhale. There's steam coming out from between his lips as he just the rings that were on his body just slowly fade into a duller color as he slowly stands up steps up to you, holds out a hand, says, "Are you all right?"
I'm good. Maybe. Oh, she fucking takes his hand.
I'm showing you this, by
Okay.
the way.
She says something in Abyssal. He doesn't speak it.
What do you say?
She says, great, I had to pick the guy to literally embody heat of passion and apparently is an embodiment of sex. Excellent. God, if he speaks Abyssal, I swear to God. I can hear Don grinning. I can hear it. Okay.
He just kind of blinks at you, just like, I heard a few people speak that here. Actually, a lot of people here speak it.
Don't worry, it's nothing important.
I should hope not.
I didn't curse you.
I'd like to see you try.
I really don't want to. Well, first of all, I can't use magic.
Mm-hmm. Sure you can.
Well, I can, but it's not violent magic. One or two of you people will probably know. They might be gossiping about it. Oh god, they might be gossiping about it. She looks like she's having an existential crisis. You'll probably hear about it soon. I don't want to do it so early in the morning. So what the hell was that, by the way?
Was what?
Don't act coy now!
You're going to have to be a lot more specific. I was fighting you.
The fire.
Yes. That was me treating you like an enemy.
No, I know that. I mean, how the fuck did you learn that?
Oh, I learned a little bit of it, and then I had to make my way to places that realistically others should not go to take care of what I needed to.
Did you go to the plane of fire?
Kind of like slowly sides eye you. Any reason why?
Would you like the actual explanation? I'm gonna try and lie to you.
Bless you!
Bless you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Outside the door.
This isn't the archives.
Down the hall to the left.
This little grandpa again.
You can lie to me if you want. If that makes you feel safer or more comfortable.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I feel safe enough here.
Good. Then I'm doing my job.
You're very
right.
good at what you do.
Good.
There was obviously something in me. He felt what you were capable of doing, despite the fact that he shouldn't feel fire.
Oh yeah, no, I ignore most things' resilience against fire.
Here's the question. There's also the fact that he literally screamed he is the embodiment of the plane of fire in my head.
I did not scream it. I said it passionately. And with a little bit of pee going down my leg.
Can you pee?
No, I can't. That's not possible. And even if I did, he'd have evaporated it.
He sounds so violent. Congratulations, you made a demon feel violated by your fire.
Devil!
Yes, she said demon on purpose. Yes, she's waiting to hear the clear lecture.
Yeah, he said, his first word he said was devil! And then he starts lecturing you. You have a
Parental hearing on, going back to camera.
kind of pauses and kind of wipes his hands slowly. You have a demon in you?
Technically devil, but
Technicalities, no. Yes or no, demon or devil.
yes.
Kind of like shakes his head slowly. Demon or devil?
Oh. Devil.
Okay. For a moment, I thought you were about to say that you're from Denziel too.
No, I'm from Cormundum.
Kind of looks like taken aback by that. Just, oh. Glad to know everyone's
What?
crazy.
What?
Ignore me. Stuff I've dealt with. Yes,
Come on.
I went to the Plane of Fire at least a few times. Funny story, I was actually born there.
Huh?
I was born in the Plane of Fire.
But you're human.
City of Brass.
Okay, that
There's
makes
a
more sense.
place where you can actually survive as a human or other such entity, and it's not going to bake the soul out of you, even though that's what most of the Plane of Fire is like.
She'll sit down and like pat beside her
I
for him to sit.
just kind of sits down.
No, come on, it's story time for both of us. You might as well sit and relax. Lord knows you run around like a
sitting.
kid.
Jeez, chill.
I
I thought
am
I was the
chill.
hot-headed
However,
one.
hey, first of all, redhead, you're the one who literally controls fire.
I more channel
Second of all, potato. Second of all, we are going to be running around like chickens with our heads cut off, watching over Artemis to make sure she doesn't jump out the window or hang off the balcony. We deserve to sit down right now. Huh?
We're doing a very poor job of that. We left her on her own.
We left her on her own with a notebook. That will distract her for a couple hours. Trust me, I've taken care of her while sick at least an hour. We're probably going to find her under the bed when we get back. But, point withstanding, Brass City.
Have you heard of it? Out of character? No.
No. I was just going to say no, because I assumed.
A good assumption, but I had to voice it for you. Imagine a place where they're able to hold back just enough heat to allow for people to come and buy and trade the most extravagant of things. Golds that's been molded in ways you can't imagine. Weapons that are crafted in ways that are impossible. But there's good and there's bad. You take what you can.
That's with most cities.
This one's more like molten hold than people would wish to
know
express.
Or admit. He shrugs.
I got out of there by mercenary work. Eventually, I just got led to a place that brought us to the material plane, and I just didn't look back.
It's good, you know. I'm glad you did. These people need somebody.
Hardly the person they should look to, but I'm the person here.
Camera!
I'm going to keep doing so.
You are quite literally one of the most kind people I have met. Aurelius withstanding. Don't downsize yourself like that.
You haven't seen Beth. She will make tea for anyone. At one point, she made tea for someone who was trying to threaten her life.
Beth needs someone to protect her.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I could think of anybody better.
You haven't met many people like me. I'm sure there's better people than me.
Well, to be fair, I come from a clergy that did this to me. So, yeah, good people are kind of in short supply for me.
Fair enough.
Regardless, I do like to think that I'm a decent judge of character. So I met Artemis. So I met Aurelius. So I met Elizabeth.
They're good people.
Despite everyone trying to hide in a little cocoon that I can't open. They are my friends. They're nice when they want to be.
Acting out is a way to hide the pain. I've seen
Why
too
I'm-
many people walk in here to know that.
That's why I'm so stubborn with the Lilith. Seems like we both have some weird backgrounds.
So it does. Kind of leans to the side. Someone knock at the door? Hold on. Picks up his
Olga's
jacket.
drunk again.
Grabs his jacket, throws it on. He walks up to the door, opens it. Ulver is standing there. He just kind of looks like sheepish, kind of like rubbing at his own neck with the wet cloth.
Is everything all right?
Where did you leave, Lady Artemis?
What?
You left her in her room, yes?
Yes.
She's not there.
Oh, she fucking takes out the room with like a sprint.
All
Come on!
All right. He follows after. And
I'm going into the room.
where are you heading to?
The room.
You go into the room. The window is open. The drapes are going out in a clear. Someone has left the building. Or at the very least,
The
the
bed
room.
sheet is also gone.
Yes, she is gone. The bed sheet is gone. The notebook is gone. A few of the notebooks are gone.
Is the bed sheet tied and out the window?
No.
Okay.
You were on the ground floor.
I don't know. Artemis can do some weird shit when she's sick. I'm looking at the window and looking around to see if I see footprints or anything. Actually, yeah, no. She's looking around to see if she can see any kind of tracks or any kind of indicator where she went.
There's very clear, I'm being sneaky on my tippy toes in the dirt, sneaking footprints that go to the stone path.
She fucking hops out the window this way, and she'll fucking try and run to the stone path, see if she sees her.
You look around, and for a little bit, you're like, okay, she couldn't have gone that far. It was maybe like an hour, hour and a half. She can't have gone that. Where could she go? And then you hear like this giggling. It's not from her. It's giggling from like kids and whatnot. You kind of look over and you see him giggling. The camera is just like, "What's the big joke today?" They climb so fast. And they're giggling and cover their mouths. Both of you slowly turn and look up. And the estate's like about 5-6 stories tall. Can get up to like almost 100 feet. And on the roof, kind of fluttering against a gentle breeze, is what appears to be a propped up makeshift tent that looks to have been made partly out of a bedsheet.
God.
It's like a monkey. We do this the easy way or the hard way.
Do we have to climb up there?
I can get up there. It just is a spectacle.
I mean, I can get up there without the spectacle. It's just, would we scare her to jumping off? I've fallen from that height before. It's doable. It's just, it hurts the knees when you land on them wrong.
You go get the soup bowl. I'll go get Artemis.
You get the soup bowl. If you're making a spectacle, I'd prefer if you didn't. I
don't
heard
know,
about
I
your entrance
tried-
here.
Huh?
Yo, yeah,
What
no,
entrance?
the entrance to the city with the wings.
She kind of stiffens.
Yeah.
I can climb, thank you. She fucking starts climbing up the wall. Get the soup.
You get the soup.
You get the soup.
You
She keeps
get the
climbing.
soup.
You hear the kids? You get the soup.
Actually,
Just going back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
how quick do you move? Like 20 feet up, hanging one hand, looking at camera.
About as fast as you are at the moment.
Other
I-
than shelter?
What?
She looks at the giggling kids. I have an idea. If you would like to help me.
What's the idea? DM it to me, just so we can surprise Kendall with, what pops up.
Hang on.
Oh, I mean, I surprised y'all.
Yeah. So Kendall, you got on the roof.
She did.
She one-armed, sick as the dog, with a bedsheet and notebooks, made her way and up onto the roof.
She did.
How?
Perseverance and a little bit of
Stubbornness.
and a little bit of basically using topography to go, okay, if I go here, then here, then here, then here.
So she did a little bit of trolling.
Yes.
Mm.
I would have thought she used the bed sheet as like a hook kind of to pull her up.
There were probably holes in it from her doing that.
So the tent will not protect from rain.
No.
Tent won't protect from hazing. It's just she was originally gonna find a table, but then she saw the roof and like, oh, that's a better idea.
And you've been on the roof for a little bit, so what are you doing up there?
She's still drawing those lines in the notebook and occasionally writing letters, and then she's moving to another notebook and then like puzzling out the translation, but it's not as difficult as it used to be because of how quickly she's able to learn languages.
Yeah.
Because she has the prodigy feat.
Yeah. You realized that. You're like, man, I need to flex this more.
Yes, I do. And then she goes to another notebook that is just writing down these long lists that will remain unnamed for now.
Fair.
Up I go.
We'll get to that. Anything else you're doing?
Nope, she hasn't even noticed that y'all are there yet.
Yep.
She's not looking down.
That's why I asked if there was anything else that you're doing besides just those things.
I think she's still probably an apple or something and is just occasionally reaching over and taking a big bite out of it.
Sounds good. After a little bit, before they show up, there's a moment where you get a little message through the grapevine. Hello, Alley Troublemaker. Come in, Alley Troublemaker.
She'll grab it. Oh, hello, friend. How are you?
You know me. I'm still looking for work. Some people here are very insistent that they don't need me, but I've seen this place. They need me. How about you? How you doing?
I'm on a roof.
Still getting into trouble. I like it.
Yes, and it was about 6 stories tall. I'm very proud of myself. The bedsheet has holes in it, though. I'll need to work on that.
Yeah, bed sheets don't make for the best climbing utensil. Next time, rope and like a grappling hook.
Yeah, and maybe next time use 2 arms.
Oof. Not using 2 arms will definitely do it. What were your... yeah, I don't need to know the details. Some people wanted to get the challenge out of it. You got a good view, I'm guessing? I mean, probably not. This place has got a lot of tall buildings. 6 stories, though? That's like what? Like 10 feet in the air?
I'm at a villa right now. It's quite nice.
No kidding. Which villa?
Do you know Cameron?
Kind of pauses for a moment. I know of a Cameron. I know of the Scourge Cameron, and I know of the Cameron who sells this thing called donuts down the street. I'm guessing it's the first one.
Scourge?
Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't like him, but that's because they can't hurt him.
Ah, yes. She'll just grin, and he can hear it in her voice. Paris, she has a lanyard.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
I thought she had fucking smuggled one of the gnomes up here for a second.
No.
She is not that strong.
It's me, it's the little gnome man.
Hey, it's just me.
Yeah,
It's just
she
a
will-
trash man.
And she'll continue talking to him. But yes, he invited me to his villa. I met him a couple of years ago. Why would people want to hurt him?
Oh, he's how do I put this? He's, depending on your point of view, he's either a really good guy or he's the big villain that you're expected to, watch be executed at the end of the day. So he's
Who
a good
wants
guy.
to execute him?
A couple people in Upper Cormundum and most of Danziel. At least the higher up sort of people.
Been there. Okay.
There's like another pause, and it's just, been there, huh? Oh, well. Glad you're not there then. Yeah? You know what I'm saying?
You saw my face.
I saw your face, yeah. It's a
You
good
saw
face.
my ears.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, it's a good face. It's got that nice cheekbones and whatnot. Makes for a good smile.
Thank you. I like my face. I like your face too. You have a very nice face.
Thank you. I worked very hard to make sure that I grew it proper, Not get my nose broken too many times.
Yeah, and I like it because it's not symmetrical. People with totally symmetrical faces are kind of weird to look at sometimes.
They can't be trusted. Whatever God made them was too perfect.
Yeah, it's just kind of eerie,
It's not
But your
right.
face has character. I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
So, what are we talking about again?
We were talking about you being on a roof.
Yes, that is where I am.
If you're up on the roof and you're talking to me, I presume you're safe. So, stay cool at least. If you're up there too long, I heard some people bake up there. Did you bring a brazier at least?
I'm already baked.
Oh, honey. Who gave you the brownies?
We have brownies?
Okay, cookies then. Who gave you the cookies?
We have snacks? No one told me we were baking anything, and she's just gonna start crawling around the roof looking around.
Oh my god!
You just hear, I'm not going to correct you. I'm just going to presume that you're, looking around for them, and that's kind of a beautiful image.
Oh, you meant drugs.
Yes.
I love Artemis so much like this.
No, I mean, I'm hot. I'm sick. That's what I meant. That's the word.
Well, if you take a little bit of... No, that'll make you sick.
Wandering around the roof now.
Yeah, no,
I don't...
bathe yourself in,
I'm
water
fine,
or
though.
whatnot. Dunk your head in water and scream. The usual.
I don't usually scream when I'm in water. Do you usually scream when you're in water? Is that healthy?
When you bottle up all of your emotions, sometimes just putting your head into a bucket of water and just going... It's just cathartic. It does the heart good.
I don't like being waterboarded, though. I wouldn't do it voluntarily.
I'm not dripping water onto my face. I'm shoving my head into a bucket, screaming, pulling my head out because I have full control of it. And if someone tries to shove my face in there longer, I kill them. Simple as that. They don't have that kind of control.
Oh. You're right. We do have that control, and people don't usually shove your head into buckets of water. That's not a normal thing.
No,
Right,
that's
okay.
not normal. Have people been shoving your head in do I need to come save you? Are people shoving your head in buckets there?
It's not a recent thing.
Do I need to kill someone? Do I need to go stab him?
It was like 30 years ago. It's fine.
So it was like yesterday. Do I need to stab someone?
I'm not even sure where they are anymore.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you don't know where they are, that's
I
completely
don't remember
fair.
their last name.
Oh. Wow, that long ago for you, huh?
No, I just never learned their last name because we didn't have names in the guild. Not last names, anyway.
Oh. Fair enough, fair enough. Didn't you introduce yourself with the last name?
Yes, because I found it.
Ah, I'm proud of you. Good for you.
And I will find the rest of them with that name. And they will be angry.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. Don't fall off the roof. Splash water on your face so you don't die of heat. Ooh, I think I see another person I need to talk to. I will get back to you later. Nice talking to you. Don't fall off the roof. I expect many more lively and enlightening chats from you. You are always fun to chat with.
I am happy you saved me from being kidnapped.
You are very welcome. That would have been exceptionally bad for you.
It would have. Or I would have set everyone and myself on fire. Either way.
Understandable. I'm glad you didn't have to set yourself on fire. Oh, gotta go. Bye!
Bye! And she goes back to her notebooks.
And then about 5-10 minutes later, you just hear someone hit as a Serenity pulls herself up onto the roof.
Hi, love. What are you doing
Hi.
up here?
I like the view. And the breeze is nice, and I was thinking about windmills.
Artemis is sick.
So,
So I would prefer you not climb 10 stories while sick.
well, I mean, why not?
Well, for one, you have one arm.
And
You could slip and you have not an extra arm to catch yourself.
that's what butts are for.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a butt can't stop a 100-foot fall.
Well, I just won't fall.
Also, I do have one thing that might convince you to come down. I can't give
Go
you soup
sprint.
if you're up here.
That, she's gonna kind of wave her finger at her. That only works if you have the soup.
He looks down. Emerald, are they back yet?
They're on their way. They're hustling their little feet.
You say no. They're what?
On their way!
Alright. So once the soup is here, you come down. I'll even carry you the way you like.
Hey, Lizzie, is there someone on the roof?
There's two people on the roof, technically, but...
You're the one that's standing. They can see you.
Yes.
She's not even fully on the roof. She's like fucking... You know how you,
You're just
how if you're climbing
dangling?
some- No, you know how if you're climbing something, you like brace yourself with your feet and use your arms to push yourself like halfway up, but you don't fully get up.
So you're dangling.
I guess, technically, yeah.
So, yeah.
You don't even see Artemis. She's just, because the tent is blocking her.
Amazing. It is hot up here,
You're
by the
just
way.
shouting at a tent.
Yeah. It is also hot up
But
here.
she's not
It's
shouting.
because of the
It is
sun,
hot.
obviously. It is not helping Artemis's temperature, for sure.
Oh no, of
No.
course not. She didn't come up here for logical.
There was no logic in this, only desire.
She will climb fully up on the roof and kind of like... The best way that she can do is to just kind of shield her from the sun slightly, just because of her height.
She's already shielded from the sun with the tent. But when she stands up, she's probably going to swoon. Because of the fever and the heat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. She kind of gestures, she like moves her so she's leaned up against her.
She is sitting.
No. That's what I mean. Serenity got up and like fucking sat down beside her. Got up on the roof and sat down beside her. Excuse me, that might have been what was.
Hi, Serenity.
Hi. You know, you're very acrobatic.
Yes.
You're also very stubborn.
Yes.
She's like ups her cheeks. Oh, my little raccoon.
What's a raccoon?
Very ornery, slimy thing. She. If you come down, I'll make sure to cuddle you while you eat. Would you like
It's
that?
hot. I don't want to be cuddled. It's hot, but you need to stay near though. But I don't. It's hot though.
Yes, it's hot because the sun's up here.
Mm,
Do you want to go back in your room where the sun can't make you hot?
I don't want to go back to my room.
Would you like to come back down where the sun can't make you hot and walk around a little?
I want soup.
Come with me and I'll get you soup.
Gonna grab all of her notebooks in one arm, and the sheet, and her pens, and she'll look up at her. Ready?
You'll pick her up. And she'll start very carefully making her way down.
Mm-hmm. As you get more towards the bottom, you're going slow enough that you're not going to just drop her, obviously. And then you just hear this little voice just go, I got the soup! No, I got the soup! No, I got the soup! And one of them is holding a soup bowl. The other one is holding, like, a little platter of, soft treats. Another one has a cut fruit.
Ooh. Look at all that.
Once
Well, the
Artemis
sun's already-
starts, when they're down,
Mm-hmm.
and Artemis smells the soup, she's going to reach out for the bowl
come
and
on.
drop her notebooks.
Camera, can you get that?
I'll pick him up, yep. Go ahead.
She'll walk back to the window of the room because this is honestly the fucking simplest method.
Just going through the
And
window.
My soup! My soup!
Hang on, the soup is coming with us.
We gotta climb in through the
Don't worry.
window! Through the window! They climb in through
She
the window
will-
after you
Yep.
and put the soup next to you.
She's gonna grab it and she's gonna start drinking it from the bowl.
It's
Uh,
not hot enough to burn her tongue. It's still like, like a little like, but it's like, enough that you can like go,
Does not stop her.
Mm-hmm. Immediately just sip soup straight down, inhale.
she'll set her down on the bed carefully.
And it's messy. Some of it's like going down her face a little bit, but she's just straight up
Mhm.
drinking it. Occasionally stopping to chew.
You're surprisingly messy. She fucking hands her a napkin.
How is that surprising? Have you met me? Look at me. Look at everything. I am a mess.
Yes, but you're at least a very beautiful mess.
And you're always so stunning.
Camera roll! I gotta be right back.
Yeah, no worries. I imagine you finish your soup and you kind of get a little tired. You just kind of pass out.
Probably.
Probably.
She starts nibbling on the fruit and finishes off some of the notebook that she was working on with the lines.
Mm-hmm.
But the other notebook with the things that I did not name that we have talked about earlier
Yes.
is kind of sitting out as she just knocks the fuck out in her bed.
Mm-hmm. Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Yes.
You kind
How
of...
can I help you?
After you had finished some of the work, the gentlemen were just kind of like, just talking stuff. And they're like, hey, Lizzie, there's someone on the roof?
Yeah, what? And she'll look over.
And you just see Serenity like hanging onto the roof, talking at a fluttering bit of something in the breeze. Looks like a blanket or something.
Yeah, those are people I game with.
Are they gonna?
Surprisingly kind of normal.
Oh, that's normal for them. Ah, if you're sure.
Yeah.
All right.
We've been on the roof more times than I want to admit.
No kidding. The roof's a great place to
Yeah.
be, but not here. That we try and make sure that it's cooled off and whatnot, but it's going to be hot. She's probably going to get a heat stroke. She might start hallucinating.
I think one's trying to bring. Why is there a tent up there? You just kind of shake her head. They'll be probably coming down soon. Serenity's got more brains than to stay up there that long. But you guys got it handled here?
Yeah.
I am back.
Okay. I think I need to I got somebody I got to go talk to, but I think I'm staying here for a couple of days.
Sounds good.
You know where to find me.
Hey, you know how to find us. Hey.
Hey.
Oh my god!
Yep, it's part of friendship now.
The A squad. The A team.
Hey.
No.
And she's gonna kind of start heading back into somewhere to try and find Beth,
Okay.
if possible.
Yeah. I will say, as you kind of go in, you kind of can see where you can see Serenity kind of leading Artemis off, and Cameron trying to kind of hustle after and bring a couple of notebooks. Looks to be that there is a notebook that was like kind of skittered off to the ground a little ways away. Probably one of Artemis's.
She'll hurry over and
Pick it up.
pick it up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It is open.
She
You
can't, read.
Yep.
So
Right.
she'll put it in her side pouch for now.
Okay. You take it and you start looking around for Beth. Beth is not hard to
Yes.
find. There's a little garden area where Beth seems to maintain taking part of the garden and moving them around as needed, as well as making little bits of tea every now and then. Not often, but occasionally. She seems to have like this iced tea concoction, and she's talking with one of the people manning a brazier and speaking very softly to them. And you can see that there's like this like flinching hesitance to some of it before they eventually seem to almost acquiesce a little bit, and she just smiles and gives them a little, doesn't touch them at all, just nods and stands up and kind of glances over at you for a moment, smiles, and moves to sit down.
Elizabeth will move to sit across from her, very similar to how their conversation went last night.
She pours 2 cups of tea, doesn't ask, she just pours it and sits back, takes a slow sip.
Before picking up her tea, Elizabeth will just kind of sigh and go, something about a conversation last night hit me
Which part?
weirdly. I apparently don't know very much. And what exactly, what's the standing of a hammer supposed to be?
What does a hammer do?
The way I was taught was that we go in, we intimidate when other methods don't work.
Would you say that that's a simple task?
No. My buddy Tank and I dangled more people off the roof than I want to admit.
Truly last resort. But not easy.
No.
Physically strenuous at times.
Very. Often
Dangerous. Not everyone wants to be dangled off of roofs.
No.
Some of them fight back even, I would imagine.
I've had my fair share of broken noses, yeah.
She just kind of nods slowly, takes another slow, long sip.
So what you're telling me is hammers aren't low rung?
You're thinking of it like a ladder. That might be your first mistake.
That's how I was taught.
It's a poor explanation. I don't imagine you know much about the planes, so that wouldn't help much either. So we'll look at it
No,
a little differently then.
Okay.
Sets down her glass on the table. She motions for you to set your glass on the table.
She does.
She takes a hand on it and she gently pushes it. And you see that it actually rotates.
Mm-hmm.
She lets it rotate and lets your cup come to her side and vice versa. And then she keeps pushing it. And after a little bit, she reaches in a little bit and she pulls a centerpiece and it goes in the other direction. It's more rings than rungs.
Oh, okay. I think I
The closer to the inner circle you are, the less anonymity you have within the group. You are known amongst each other and you rub elbows with the highest and most elite, which means that in turn, we rub elbows with those who will get the job done in ways that we need to, in ways that are further away from where incidents need to be taken care of, if you will.
okay.
Where would you say the impact of a hammer is at its zenith, its best? Do you keep a hammer close to the chest?
No.
You swing it.
I don't think so.
You swing
Yeah,
it
you
and
swing.
you let its momentum carry itself.
Mm-hmm. So on the outer rings.
Yes. That doesn't make you less important. It means that there's a lot more freedom to the swing, but a lot more danger in that. If you miss and you hit something wrong and you break and are damaged and you become no longer useful as a hammer, that's a loss of an asset. That's money wasted. That's time wasted. That's a waste of life. We are many things, but we are not wasteful. A hammer should be paid what they're due.
Elizabeth's leg starts doing like that nervous bouncing up and down as the knowledge starts to sink in just a little bit.
Who is in charge of figuring your price?
I was told it was on Mask.
The masked isn't in charge of the money.
Is it the Whisper?
Who is in charge of you?
Oh, the boss? He never was too fond of me and Tank, so...
He paid you from his own hand, though, right?
No?
Her eyes widen slightly. It's like a look of abject horror.
The money went from the boss to the Mask to us. And I take it from your look, that's wrong.
You're doing the boss's work. Yes?
Yes.
You are working for the boss. You're not working for the mask. You're not working for the whisper. You're not working for a shadow. You are working for a man or woman or whomever they've chosen to be. You are working for them. Yes?
That's how I saw other branches in Corvin work. That wasn't how we work.
That's not right. That's not. She looks a little frustrated, definitely befuddled and processing, as she leans back and gently stops the table from spinning, and with her glass in front of herself, she takes another sip.
Elizabeth takes a moment and picks up her cup and takes a long drink before putting it down, her hands shaking even more. From your understanding of things, which is obviously different than mine, what does a blackout do?
Suppress and erase traces, ideas, and information about a specific event or person.
If you had to put a percentage on it, how much of that involves Gillen?
Her eyes slowly close, and her face scrunches up just a little bit more. That depends. How much attention could you afford to draw to the missing individuals?
And if Elizabeth could go paler, she does. She already looks slightly sickly because of lack of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And just going, that was not something I ever thought about.
As a hammer, that's not something necessarily for you to think about specifically, but it's something that should have been discussed at least once or twice with you. You were supposed to have a voice in the making of decisions, after all.
We were?
Oh, gods above, please, Keish, let me have more knowledge so that I don't feel like this is going to kill her. Forgive me, that outburst was uncalled for.
No, it's fine. I'm realizing I was things aren't adding up for me either. I take it they're supposed to, in a crew of sorts. There's supposed to be more than like 4 job titles.
There can be any number. 4 is a very low number, very small amount.
In our crew, it was 2 hammers, a mask, a whisper, and a shadow. And I have a feeling there's more titles than that, and I don't know them. I feel I should know them, but I don't know them. Unlike last night where she stopped from showing the emotion, there is visible panic on her face at this point. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Yesterday, you or last night, you said I shouldn't have been allowed to live for more than 2 months being on the run. It's been 2 years. All the information I have is wrong. Something's not right.
And I am looking into it on my end. That much I promise you. After all, if that is true, then there's only really one thing that adds up, but it also doesn't.
Which is what?
Who likes you in the collective?
She goes to answer before the realization of what Beth actually means sets in, and her eyes get huge. Somebody called dibs?
If they did, they're 2 years late.
We don't let a dib go that long.
A dibs usually doesn't go for more than, well, a short while. So, needless to say, that is strange. Fascinating.
Only
Don't get
people-
me wrong, but
Only Haya up can get away with that kind of shit.
well, being fair, if no one's done it before, someone else could get away with it for a time.
2 years?
I said a time, I didn't say a miracle.
So all this time, all these collective people that I've run into, the only reason why I'm alive is because somebody else called dibs.
It's possible. It may not be what is actually going on, but it is the only thing that makes sense. And I don't know how to feel about that. It's something. Take another slow sip. Don't lose your head. Deep breath.
She does. Yeah, she does, and she starts to calm down before, let's call it, a memory of work hits her mid-sip before she arches a brow from behind her glasses and puts her cup down. Does music play a big part to any branch of the collective?
It depends. For some parts, it's more necessary than for others, but not specifically so. You have a thought. Voice it.
Every time we got in trouble, you know, the round table discussion shit that they do when you do something wrong. I take it those aren't handed out as often as I'm used to, but I'm gonna go past that point right now.
Please.
There was always, they'd always try with me. Probably the others, I don't know. I've only had a roundtable discussion with one other person once. And there was trying to get me mad, and there was always music. And it always struck me weird that there was music during a roundtable discussion.
Who played the music?
I couldn't see him. You know, they only make it so you can see the other hammers.
You could only see your other hammer during the discussion?
No, the other hammers that they use to beat the information into you.
Hmm.
Oh, please tell me that that's not
That's
how a round table's
it's
not supposed to go, is it?
that's the old method. It's archaic and barbaric. No offense to the tribesmen who still follow those ways, but we're trying to be more refined than that. I didn't realize Corvin was so far away that it lost the memo. But other hammers were there.
The hammers were the ones they used to beat in that information with us.
So there are other members of the collective. Okay, so that music could have been from another collective member. They didn't just invite a bard in and cause a great scene.
No, I don't know.
Look, we don't need something
don't
like that
know.
again. Just if you know anything, tell us later when you know it. But for the now,
I think I'm gonna be sick.
that's why I'm telling you to drink the tea. It should help with the nausea.
With very shaky hands, she takes a sip.
They broke you.
None of this is right.
They hurt you.
None of this is right. So you're telling me none of this is normal?
Some of it might be older things that I'm unaware of, but we are all working together in this. We're not family. We're a group of people trying to push ahead in the world, in a world that isn't going to want us to be ahead. What do we gain by pushing someone behind us who is supposed to be walking beside us? What is gained from tripping someone who is supposed to stand and fight by your side?
I don't know. I don't know.
Sleep on it. If it doesn't come to you, then they were wrong.
I can't sleep here. I've tried. I tried last night. I couldn't.
Why couldn't you?
The bed was too comfortable. I got like 2-3 hours on the floor.
How comfortable were your beds back in Corvin?
I could only afford the cheap room in the tavern.
The cheap room in the as a hammer.
Told you I could barely pay off a tab after a job.
Ms. Elizabeth. She gently pushes back her chair, stands up. She slowly walks around the table. Give me your hand.
They're shaky, but she does give her hand.
She takes it. She gently runs a thumb across her palm, almost in a way to try and soothe you, though it is very inefficient. She reaches into a pouch, shifts her hand for a second, and sets very clearly money into your palm and curls your fingers around it, pushes it back towards you.
Beth, you
Can
don't.
you count?
Yeah, I can count.
Count how many I gave you.
She brings her hand back and starts counting.
It's not many.
No, I wouldn't.
It's about what you would
imagine.
expect normally from your pay, but it's not in silvers. It's 5 gold pieces. 10 times what you'd been paid back in Corvin.
I could. So you gave me a month's pay.
I gave you what you should have been paid. Minimum. You are out there in the heat. You've heard that term, right?
Yeah, that
job.
part I actually did. Yeah.
You're on a job. If you die, the very least your fellow can do is let you have enough for a fine ale and a grand feast. And you lived off scraps.
Huh. It was better than what I had at home.
And
but
you
yeah.
should have had better still.
At least I didn't have to beg for food from my parents.
And you should have had better still. You left your parents. You joined us. And we failed you. She slowly kneels down. She gently places her head against your hand.
I didn't know better. I didn't know better.
You should have been taught. You should have been instructed.
But they didn't. Once the boss didn't want us. Tank and I, at least. I don't.
He could have asked for anyone else. He could have traded you to someone else and let you be treated right. He should have paid you from his own hands because you were acting as his hands. That's what it means to be a hammer. And he tried to let it be passed off.
It was a lie. It was a lie. Just a lie. I have to go. And she gets up and sprints away.
She doesn't stop you. She can't.
Right now, Elizabeth can't go.
Not far, no.
She's at half speed.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
But she also can't stop you even so, because even with that, you are very strong.
And
you just
she's
run
running
aimlessly?
Yeah. In tears. Okay. Not to run away, but she's just trying to
get away from
the knowledge
that.
Is too much. Yeah.
I'm going to roll.
I would like to say that she dropped the 5 gold at Beth's feet as she ran.
You can do that.
Okay.
I like that. Cool. You run. Run into the building. Running away from the outside. To find shade, find cover, find a corner. There's a nice place with a corner. You can kind of try and tuck your way in there.
She, back to the wall, sink to the ground, hug her knees to her chest.
You're given a few minutes. Say about 10. More than enough time to let it out. There's no wailing, no sobbing, just stream of tears. And sharp breaths. Then you hear a faint creaking of, you can presume to be wood, like the wheels of a cart, which kind of weird indoors. Until you remember that you have heard those kind of wheels before. You kind of wipe your face clean, try and take a few deep breaths as you see that there's a person who's kind of like wheeling themselves around their table, kind of looking around the corner and peeking at you and giving you a very tentative little weak wave.
She'll very quickly wipe her cheeks and try to gather herself, realizing she's been noticed. Sorry. I'm okay, sorry.
You alright? That's okay. Some people have bad memories in this place. If you want, I can read to you.
Could you? And she'll pick herself up off the ground and still trying to dry off her cheeks.
You go over.
And she'll move over.
You go and you sit next to her. She's like, anything in particular you want me to read?
I haven't heard many stories in general, so
Alright.
whatever.
I've got a few. And she starts reading to you from one of her books. And you're kind of lulled. It's a very soothing voice. Very, not monotonous, but just kind of even tempoed. You kind of forget yourself for a little bit. Long enough that Aurelius, you kind of eventually peek your head out of your own book, just starting to realize, hey, things exist out here. As you see that Elizabeth is currently seated next to him, being read to by the other woman in the wheelchair.
He takes a mental note of it, but he isn't going to
interrupt.
interfere.
No. I'm letting you know where you guys are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that would be the place that Elizabeth would find herself.
Yeah.
She'll look up and meet Aurelius's gaze for a moment before turning her attention back to the woman reading.
It's clear that Aurelius is barely there in a weird way. Like, he's present, but he's deep in thought.
You'd still, and even with the bare minimum of passive perception, would be able to tell she has been crying.
He doesn't draw attention to it.
Just letting you know.
I'm just checking something real quick. He does reach to his side, and he pulls out his water skin, and he just gently slides it across the table and keeps reading.
Thank you, Aurelius.
And
she takes a sip before shakily sliding it back.
He puts it to his side.
Leda, can we talk later? I mean, if you have a moment.
He takes a moment to realize she's talking to him. It's not her fault. It's completely his fault.
Oh yeah, totally. I understand.
And he looks up and he goes,
Can we talk later? Please.
He nods.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's almost strange. You'd expect someone in his position to be in a really bad state of mind, but the way he's holding himself, he's reserved and quiet, but he's not hostile. He's not angry or upset. He's just kind of contemplative. And it's eerie. but just looking at him, you kind of get the sense that there's a reason he's like this. And it's not because he necessarily is in shock. It's like he's trained himself for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's uncanny. Terrifying on a certain level, but not terrifying because it's a bad thing. Terrifying because it's inhuman. He just returns to his books, trying to better understand the Denziel mind.
And she'll shake off the kind of odd way Aurelius is handling everything and turn her attention back to the woman who is kindly reading to her.
Aurelius. That's a good name. Oh, I did not introduce myself to you. I'm so sorry. I'm Emiya.
I'm Elizabeth.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Elizabeth. Are you a scholar?
I'm a farmer's daughter.
Oh, so that's notes on the crops?
No.
Motions to the notebook in your bag.
No, friend of mine dropped it. I'm gonna give it back to her later.
Oh.
I honestly don't know what's in the notebook.
I can...
Have you?
I'm sorry. It's not my place to pry.
As much as I am curious what she has to say in the notebook, I don't think I can read it.
I mean, I can read it. I'm sorry.
Aurelius kind of looks up. Is that Artie's?
Yeah, Serenity had to go fish her off of the roof.
And people say that I'm reckless.
I don't know what's going on, but apparently, in my head, it made more sense than a lot of things that we do.
May I have a look at it?
Sure. She takes the notebook out and hands it to Aurelius.
He opens it and starts analyzing it.
You look at it, and there's bits of it that are circled. There's bits of it that are just... It's very neat, very, honestly, beautiful handwriting. And as you kind of look at it, you take a few seconds, and then your eyes kind of snap over, and it's just like, Aurelius? Oh, I'm in here.
Like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
Which one? Here's a few.
The pointing at the TV one.
Hey, it's me!
And would you like me to read it to you, what it says?
Your call.
All right.
I mean, he's already there.
Yeah. You read it, and you're like, you see your name, you're like, oh, what? And then your eyes kind of go to smart, dry, not as naive as he seems. Crispy, marshmallow man. Rides his emotions.
Sorry, what was that last one?
Rides his emotions. Analytical, observant, big whoosh. Self-punishment.
You see that when he reads big whoosh, you see him kind of tilt his head a little bit.
Of course, that's the
prophecy.
one.
Horrifyingly, brokenly kind. Needs Arcana friend. Knowledge fount. Then you see that there are other names on here. Elizabeth's on here as well.
Does it say anything interesting? Should we give it back to her?
Just notes.
You want me to read the Elizabeth ones as well, or you stop reading at that point?
He's reading them, but he's not gonna read them out loud.
Okay. I'm going to read them out loud.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Give me a second to write the rest of them.
I'm writing the Elizabeth ones. We're not at Serenity yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Elizabeth. First thing next to it, needs help. Underneath that, bitter, angry, and traumatized. Mafia. Blunt sometimes. Too many secrets. I get it though. Starving, but not hungry.
Aurelius takes a mental note of that specific.
Likes her for healing? ? Healing. Glasses
Oh,
help.
the pain. The pain. Ow.
Addict. Needs help. Slow removal.
Aurelius is kind of rereading that at the same time as rereading his own. And he's like, at this point, he's kind of coming to the conclusion that these are notes on their personalities. He notes that it's not a philosophical doctrine or like that kind of understanding, but more scientific observations. Like he can distinguish between the two pretty well after reading three journals and then going to this. Like,
this is easy notes, but at the same time,
And went from Einstein to Dr. Seuss.
It's Einstein to Aristotle, Socrates, Galileo.
I feel like the best way of putting it is like going from the works of Epictetus or like Seneca, and then going to the works of what's his name? Isaac Newton.
Very
where
different.
like they're both like looking into or trying to understand the world, but in vastly different ways. And one of them's more like a guideline for how one should potentially act, whereas the other is more observations on how people do act. And Aurelius is very much intrigued and interested, but he knows he should not, or at least in his mind, he knows it's not his place to share this information. And he
there is more on
did
this
I
page.
Did I ramble enough for them to get the notes?
Yes, Serenity.
Okay, good.
Yes. Serenity. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Beautiful. Exclamation point. Question mark scribbled through an exclamation point. Question mark. Exclamation point. Horrifying. Question mark. Lovely. Evictus dump. Horror dump. Limp dick demon. Pouring from empty cup. Needs refilling. Overwhelmingly broken, pretending to be whole. Doesn't know real love, wants it circled. I want to give this, but line. Like there's just like a scribbly line, like, yeah, almost.
Aurelius kind of feels a sadness to it, but and the looks on his face are very much kind of this is both simultaneously amazing, but also very tragic. It's like a bittersweet scholar who's like, oh, hmm, and he closes it, and the like deepened thought look returns to his face, but it's a bit more focused as he slides it back to the to Elizabeth, and he says, "It's just notes, nothing really important."
I mean, it is Adi. Can't say I'm surprised.
I'm pretty sure there was a page in there that was literally just a sketch of me hopping around.
This is the same person who, as an act of friendship, drew me a dick butt, so you know. And she puts the notebook back in her pouch.
They are a strange one. I'm trying to better understand her.
Any luck?
Aurelius kind of gestures to the 3 books. To an extent, it's completely foreign to me, but it's almost like everyone whose notes are left behind has a keen, almost... And he's trying to find the word.
Mm-hmm.
And he settles on animated. You know? Do you know what an animated armor is? Of course you do. We fought one.
Yeah, I tried to punch it, remember?
That was not your smartest decision.
I have a lot of those.
Yeah, no point lingering on it.
Yeah.
My point is, you know how it doesn't really have feelings?
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of works. It does what it has to do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these books have almost an obsessive quality into mastering a single craft, whether it's the creation of something, whether it's the production of another. It's... These people were not treated like people. They were enslaved, almost like they had no voice. They were... And he goes quiet. What's your passive insight?
Mine?
Out of curiosity.
Hold on. That page just closed on me. Passive insight is 16.
He's thinking about the Paladin orders. It's clear he's thinking about his own past.
Okay.
And the kind of similarities and differences between them. And almost in this bittersweet look in his eyes, he's like, I think I know how I can connect to her.
I'll leave the book linen to you guys.
I'll find her later. Give it to her.
Do you want to just give her the notebook?
Yeah, if that's okay.
I don't know where she is, so you know you probably have a. We might. How did you get here?
Wheelchair.
Can't you just go in a circle?
Aurelius kind of like shows his method, where he uses one arm on one side and then the other on the other. It's like, I'm not completely stupid.
You know, uh, fuck it. Amia, can you give us a moment?
Yeah, sorry. Just rolls back and just keeps rolling. Thump.
I will.
I
I will say
Careful.
there is one more character entry in there.
Yes, but
There
I
it is.
didn't see it. Hold on, where is it? There it is. New entry. Last
Oh,
entry.
do you want to voice that up?
Yes.
Do you want to voice that before we go further?
There's one more. Ready? Before
Yes.
you go? The last
Mhm.
one is Cameral.
Okay.
Sweet. Overwhelmingly slow. So, Hero Complex. Hidden Fury. So sweet. I know him from this building. He's so kind and broken. Wants a dream of a memory that I'm not. Circled off to the side.
Is that all it was? I want to make sure
Yeah, that's
before.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. She,
Camera
Elizabeth.
roll.
Elizabeth is kind of leans closer to Aurelius, and she gets a very serious look on her face for a moment before looking down at the table. Did I have I ever told you I have a brother? I mean, probably not. I don't tell you guys much.
It's not my place to ask.
I have a little brother, Seth. When I left home, he was only 9. Don't think he's got a good memory of me. His 17th birthday was not too long ago. I'm saying this because that argument we had, the reason why I got so upset, it wasn't the locket. Believe it or not, it wasn't about the locket. I haven't... For the longest time, I didn't see myself as having a brother, because at home having a brother was a bad thing. My dad, he wanted a son. And obviously I'm not that. But for the first 13 years, I was his child. Then Seth came along. And I got forgotten. Instantly. So you saying I never had to ask for anything in my life, in a way, you're right. I had to beg. I had to beg my own family. I had to beg for food. I had to beg so they wouldn't lock me out of the house at night. I had to beg for clothes. I had to beg to be talked to. And I blamed my little brother. And I've been starting to see you as a brother. And you said that to me. And all those thoughts came back that it was my fault. And I can't put that on you, and I want to apologize. I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. But, I'm sorry, Aurelius. I'll let you get back to your research, I guess. Uh-huh.
You're holding on to this past version of yourself. This person you were, this shadow. Elizabeth, I don't care who you were. I don't care what you've done or what danger we are supposedly in. You decide who you are now. Now, I know what it's like to cling onto the past, onto who you once were. I've learned I can't allow myself to be bound to that. I was once a paladin, I was once a monster hunter. Now I have the opportunity to be something else, something better. You can become something as well. You are not defined by who you are, but who you are now, by who you choose to be, by who you want to be. You are at a crossroads. You can take the easy path, give in, give up. From my perspective, that's what I've seen. I've seen you running, but I have also seen you stand up and fight, struggling against your opponent. And that is to live, to survive, to feel. Embrace who you want to be. Strive towards that person. You will stumble, you will fall, but I will not let you stay down.
Aurelius, I don't know what to do. My past is catching up to us, and I don't want to put you guys in danger. But I have since day one. I don't know what to do.
Don't have to do anything. That is out of your control. The only thing you truly have control of is your mind.
I don't even think I have control of that anymore.
You do.
I'm broken. Okay? I'm broken.
We all are. We all are. But it doesn't have to be that way. Look into yourself. Look into who you want to be. Doesn't matter who you were. Doesn't matter what's coming to us. If we attach ourselves to others and what they think, we will always be what others want us to be, rather than being ourselves. We abandon ourselves. We abandon our ability to truly be useful to ourselves, to our family, to the world. And if we abandon our ability to truly be useful, we abandon what is perhaps the only true form of security. On the other hand, when we be what other people want us to be, we have the security of a prisoner, which is security in exchange for life. And that is not really any security at all. You do not need to take what I say as fact. I cannot control what you do. I can only control myself and my own actions. The only thing I fear is losing what remains of my soul. No one can take that from me but myself, just as only I can heal myself. Only you can control your actions. You have power over your mind and not outside of fence. Realize this and you will find strength. Not out here, and he gestures to his arm and his body, but in here, and he points to his head, and then to his heart.
Why did you guys have to be so nice to me? Why did you guys have to care?
Because I am not willing to lose another family.
be so much easier if you guys just didn't care.
Doesn't matter if it's easy or not. True freedom is the ability to be free of your mind, to choose your own actions. Understand this. Whatever decisions we make, whether we are free to make them. Whether results are glorious or tragic, we are free to make them. What you do next is up to you. It is your decision. I have faith that you'll make whichever one is right. If not by my standards, then by your own.
I just have to make it past wave break. I just have to make it past wave break. After then, I can be myself again.
The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Look to your goal and achieve it.
She stands up and just kind of, with tears still again streaming down her face. After wave break. After I stop running from my problems. Maybe I can reintroduce myself to you, and we can start anew.
Elizabeth.
That's not my name. That's not my name. And she leaves.
And
Aurelius
oh, go ahead.
kind of returns to himself, and he just thinks for a moment, and after maybe a minute, despite not wanting to move, despite everything, he goes off to try and find Artemis.
And I'll say on that note, that will be where we will leave the session.
Wait.
I hope you guys are having a good fucking time.
You wanted a therapy session, right?
I want you guys to have therapy. I want you guys...
Did I give you enough therapy?
Therapy! I love you guys.
Love you too.
This is...
Look, the second I knew we were leaning into a therapy session, I'm like, alright, philosophize this.
I have this planned out, just need to wait for it. The right moment.
Well, then I can't wait for next session because I want to hear what they think about Artemis's thoughts.
It'll be great.
Aurelius didn't share any of it with Elizabeth.
I'm aware.
No, but you gotta give it back to Serenity, and Serenity's curious enough, so this will be interesting.
Oh yeah, of course. But we'll get there.
Aurelius isn't gonna share that.
I mean, he's not, but you know, someone's got to share. And if you won't, I mean, what are you gonna do? Run away with the knowledge? I love you.
Boing, 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 boing.
What Aurelius does with that knowledge is completely up to him.
That's the fun part. But I feel like we need to name this session Therapy 101.
It's seriously.
I was thinking Psychology 101, but that'll work.
Psychology 101, Therapy 101, Therapy 101, and then we could do Therapy 102 next session.
Yeah, that works.
Or just Introduction to Therapy.
There you
I
go.
love Artemis's 17 passive insight.
You've
Yes.
finally been able to gently show it and be like, I'm paying attention. And it's glorious.
I am fine. I don't need this fucking therapy. Get the fuck away from me.
Aw, it's adorable. Oh
like
no,
I went
it's
from-
traumatized. Oh no, it has
It's like
anxiety.
It's like I went to normal with Serenity, to breaking with Beth, to telling the truth with Aurelius.
Therapy.
So many thoughts after session.
Yeah, after session we can talk.
After session we will
Yeah.
talk, which is why thank you all so much for watching. This has been phenomenal. They're starting to become a cohesive unit. Soon I will make glue to push them back together and keep them from splitting the party every 5 seconds. That's honestly,
We love you.
it's honestly not a big deal when you guys do that. It's just something funny to be like, haha, you split the party. I honestly don't care, but I do want you guys to be able to go, we're in trouble. We're going to help each other, which is what I'm aiming for. And so far, it seems to be working. Fingers crossed. But until we get to that point, which we're going to do more of that next week, casually, so we can eventually move the plot forward. Love you. Thank you all so much for watching with us. We've had a great time. You all are amazing. We post these on my YouTube channel at YouTube, Uncommon Guru, under Cormundum Chaos. And for those of you watching on YouTube, we stream this on Mondays, generally starting around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time weekly. And if we haven't seen you here yet, we hope we'll see you around next time. So until next week, take care. Remember, you're awesome. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!